Go find somebody your age and build a family with them.
If this is true, right, why would she go grab Tony Busby?
And she says that she alleges that the was brutal, like it was very it was aggressive.
The morning airwaves practically exploded, like someone microwaved a fork, when Charlemagne Thaw God kicked off the Breakfast Club with a bombshell so spicy, folks choked on their coffee.
I know one thing, if you're 54, you have no reason to be talking to a 19-year-old. She's 22 now, Shannon is 56.
According to the latest legal soap opera, none other than Shannon Sharpe. Yes, that Shannon Sharpe, king of sports hot takes and unfiltered realness, is now being accused of misconduct serious enough that someone's asking for a cool $50 million in damages.
If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke out of you when I see.
That's right, $50 million. For context, that's roughly the GDP of a small island nation. Or, half a Super Bowl commercial. Charlemagne, in his usual tone that somehow combines Sunday sermon with barbershop gossip, delivered the headline with the flair of a man who knows he just broke the internet before 9 a.m. It was the kind of moment where your Bluetooth cuts out and even Siri gasps. From there, he dove headfirst into the scandal like it was a thesis defense on Cancel Culture 101, reminding us all that Shannon's inspirational life arc, from muddy Georgia backroads to grittier and greatness, made him a YouTube philosopher precisely because he kept it raw. And now, ironically, that same rawness might just be what's getting him slow roasted in court. Authenticity brings the fans, Charlemagne proclaimed, but it also paints a giant neon bullseye on your back. Because naturally, the louder you shout about keeping it real, the faster critics appear like it's open mic night at the Cancel Club. Just as Shannon Sharpe was basking in his truth-teller glow, boom, vulnerability kicked in the door like it had a warrant. Producer Taylor hit play on a tidy little horror show. A timeline recap. Just 12 hours ago, a Nevada civil court stamped the plaintiff's complaint like it was the hottest new club flyer, complete with buzzwords like reputational damage, emotional trauma, and the big kicker, loss of sponsorship income. Because what's a scandal without someone crying over spilt influencer deals? Charlemagne zeroed in on that juicy sponsorship angle, reminding everyone that today's endorsement contracts come laced with morals clauses. Basically legalese for, if you trend for anything other than dancing or donating, we're out. Brands don't do loyalty anymore, they do PR triage. Dude, he warned, if a beverage company so much as smells smoke, their lawyers are already yanking the parachute before the flame even hits the label. DJ Envy chimed in with some fresh from the group chat ad world gossip. Agencies were already whispering about freezing live reads tied to Sharpe, because nothing says, "we believe in you," like immediately pulling your name off a granola bar segment. Charlemagne summed it up perfectly. It's like watching the stadium scoreboard cut out in overtime. Nobody knows who's winning, but trust, the cash registers aren't ringing until someone flips the lights back on. Charlemagne reminded everyone that these days, a civil lawsuit doesn't need to end in a verdict to start draining bank accounts. Just filing it is enough to trigger panic. Because let's face it, algorithms react way faster than actual courts. Guest attorney Monica Reyes called in from Midtown to break it down. Civil cases aren't about proving guilt beyond all doubt. It's more like, are we kinda sure? If so, that's enough to cut a multi-million-dollar check. As Charlemagne put it, 51% certainty is all it takes to get very expensive very fast. Reyes warned that the discovery phase could turn into a digital treasure hunt. Emails, phone records, GPS data, basically every embarrassing thing your phone's been keeping receipts on. In 2025, forget testimony. It's your screen time that testifies. Then Charlemagne shifted to what really matters in the court of public opinion. The internet? Barbershop-style arguments are now broadcast to the world, with memes instead of mirrors. He said it feels like the same buzzing clippers, just with billions of people listening in. If a settlement comes quickly, people will either cry hush money or scream vindication. But brands won't rush back until the headlines cool off. If things drag out, leaked court docs could feed gossip columns for months, turning every old tweet into a potential smoking gun. And if Sharpe hits back with a defamation suit, things could spiral into a legal circus where the only guaranteed winners are the lawyers, and maybe meme pages. DJ Envy asked what this means for Sharpe's job. Charlemagne said network execs are probably already in damage control mode, watching ad data like it's a stock ticker. He mentioned catching a leaked media spreadsheet where Sharpe's name was lighting up like a crash alert. His guess? Sharpe might get quietly benched, Not fired, just moved from the main desk to podcast limbo until the smoke clears or turns into a full-blown fire. In a rare moment of turning the mic on himself, Charlemagne got real about his own role in shaping narratives. He admitted that radio hosts, whether they mean to or not, can end up pouring gasoline on a story before the facts are even out. If they treat allegations like confirmed verdicts, entire cities start picking sides before a single gavel hits the bench. He called on his fellow hosts, morning DJs, Twitch ranters, late-night joke writers, to treat the word alleged like a seatbelt. Something you actually use, not just toss in for decoration. Monica Reyes jumped back in with a legal throwback, referencing a 2019 case involving a retired coach whose reputation tanked overnight. The guy ended up clearing his name in arbitration. But by then, his endorsement deals had vanished like a Snapchat story. Charlemagne emphasized the point. By the time the truth shows up, the internet has already framed the movie poster. And it rarely includes a retraction. The discussion turned to the money side of things. Charlemagne broke down the logic behind the $50 million ask. Slap on a giant number and suddenly you've got the insurance companies sweating, big-name journalists watching, and everyone knowing the plaintiff's not playing around. But that same shock factor can backfire. It might actually energize Sharpe's fanbase. Suddenly, you've got GoFundMes and trending hashtags screaming, 50 must mean fake. Reyes pointed out that these sky-high damage numbers often shrink quietly in mediation, but good luck finding that update in the headlines. Charlemagne then took the conversation deeper, pointing out how public perception hits differently for Black male celebrities. He talked about how long-standing stereotypes still shape reactions, often unfairly. Sharpe's Southern accent, once praised as raw and real, could now be spun as unpolished or unprofessional, depending on who's doing the spinning. It's that subtle shade, wrapped in fake concern, that adds an extra layer of bias to the whole situation. Charlemagne challenged listeners to sharpen their radar for bias and start expecting fair scrutiny across the board, not just when it's convenient or clicks well. DJ Envy steered the convo toward younger audiences, already remixing the moment. Charlemagne's earlier monologue had been chopped into 15-second TikToks with titles like Charlemagne exposes Shannon or Charlemagne's side. The nuance? Gone. What's left? Rhetorical Swiss cheese. All holes, no substance. Producer Taylor then read out a live tweet from a former NFL strength coach. I've known Shannon since rookie camp. Man runs wind sprints of honesty, not marathons of excuses. Charlemagne appreciated the metaphor, but reminded listeners that heartfelt endorsements only go so far. If ugly receipts turn up in discovery, even the most loyal character references might not hold up in court. DJ Envy joked that sports betting apps were probably already putting odds on will Shannon speak before the Pro Bowl? Charlemagne shook his head at the absurdity, calling out the growing trend of monetizing legal chaos. But even he had to admit, the public's hunger for drama has a way of turning court cases into circuses, unless someone takes control of the narrative before the tent goes up. What do you think of this drama? Let us know in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe Celebrity Insider News and press the bell icon for more celebrity gossips. Thanks for watching.